Hello, baseball way of lifers. How are we all doing now? Today, on Friday, which is actually tomorrow, begins spring, which means officially it's baseball season. Once spring comes, it's baseball season. Yeah, you got your little NCAA tournament thing going on, but as far as I'm concerned, it's baseball season. And we're going to continue right here with our 30 teams in 30 days. And right now, we're going to the National League Central Division and focusing on the Cincinnati Reds. A lot changed since 2020 with the Reds. Gone is the, visual centerpiece of the ball club. The attention getter, Trevor Bauer. He is now in Los Angeles. And also gone is Raisel Iglesias, who did not get as much attention as Trevor Bauer, but he probably will be as missed as Trevor is. So that's a solid 1-2 punch, starter and reliever that they're going to be missing. And it'll be interesting to see what happens going forward for the Reds. Now, last year, again, it was a COVID year. Anything could happen. A lot of stuff we'll never see again. And the Reds are a perfect example of that. They scored, of all the runs scored, 60% came by way of home run. And you're just not going to win championships depending on the long ball like that. And one of the reasons why they only scored 60% of their runs, they scored 60% of their runs via long ball, is the fact that they batted .212 as a batting average. That is pretty bad. And they went scoreless 22 innings in the 2 playoff game loss to the Braves. And now getting hits to not getting runs, and just depending on the long ball, it's going to cost you in the big against teams with good pitching staffs. Also for the Reds, they still have a good starting pitching staff, still have a pretty decent pitching staff. The one thing they don't have is defense. Their defense is horrible. When you have Nick Castellanos out in right field, and he may be the worst defender in baseball right now. And it's not as worse at the other positions, but there really is no standout defensive stalwart on this Red team. But they do still have Sonny Gray, who's hurt, sore back, and I'm sure when he's going to be back. And Louis Castillo, he has the stuff that could be top 5 material in Major League Baseball. And if we can get a big year out of Louis, we meaning the Reds, things may be better than what we thought. But we see. But some rotation is not going to kill you, that's for sure. The 3 guys that they're really hoping for to come through are Nick Senzel, Jesse Winkler, and Jonathan India. These guys are all number 1 draft picks. The Reds, if you look up and down the lineup 1 through 8, the Reds have a lot of number 1 draft picks in that lineup, and Senzel, Winkler, and India are all number 1 picks. I think India was even like a number 5 selection. He's going to be the second baseman. But they do have high hopes for Senzel and Winkler. And it's the one they're really counting on at this point. They need him to step up and be a potential superstar he can be. Jesse Winker, we see he has a solid bat, and he'll be welcomed. And like I said, Jonathan India, they'll need him to come up too. So these guys, there's going to be a lot of pressure on them because there's some holes to fill in that team. And Joey Votto's doesn't have it. Let's be honest. He's still a great OBP machine. Still a great lineup. And if he can produce somewhat like 9% of what Joey Votto did 5-6 years ago, there'll be a shot for the Reds this year. Now, the Reds have been around a long, long time. They're even a charter member of the American Association in 1882. How many of you were around for the American Association? Raise your hands. I kind of figured. Not too many American Association people tune into these tubecasts, but they're welcome. If anyone was around in 1882 and wants to talk modern baseball instead of American Association baseball, I'm here for you. But they did join the American Association in 1882, and then they joined the National League in 1890. The Reds played in the National League West Division when they went to divisional format from 1969 to 93. Since 94, they've been in the Central Division. And one of the traditions, I don't mean to deviate here, that I've always enjoyed about Cincinnati Red baseball is they used to be the first team to have the first game of the season. Opening day used to be meant to be played and was played in Cincinnati, and they'd have the parade. It was just so old-fashioned and nice. They were rewarded every year, and it became a tradition. But with the big TV money and ESPN and everything else, those days are gone. But it was a nice tradition I always enjoyed. Now, overall, like I said, I've been around a long time. And when you play a long time, the odds catch up to you, either pro or con. But despite all these years and all these games, they're still above 500 with a 505 winning percentage. So they've been a solid franchise throughout. And they have 10,630 wins and 10,422 losses, which is not too shabby. Now, they've won 5 World Championships, 9 National League pennants, and 1 AA pennant going back to the American Association days, and 10 division titles. Not too bad. Now, I think everyone here who is viewing this video remembers the Big Red Machine. That will always be folklore. I don't think I'll ever see a starting. Well, the Dodgers could get a run with the squad they got right now. But the Reds, you can, to this day, that starting 8 is embellished in my brain. I mean, you go bench, catcher, Perez first, Morgan second, Tapsiano short, Rosie in third, left, Foster in left, Geronimo in center, Griffey in right. I mean, that's all. The actual speeding power, Johnny Bench, probably best catcher of all time, Joe Morgan, probably best second baseman of all time, Pete Rose, the all-time leading as far as total hits. And what a leader by example he was. I know you guys are saying, oh, yeah, you gamble, blah, blah, blah. But he was a gamer. I mean, I don't care what he did. He was part of that Red Machine. And they were just so fun to watch. They didn't have the starting pitching staff, but the pitching staff held its own. But that starting 8 may go down as one of the top 5 starting 8s of all time after all is said and done, even after I leave this planet. But they were amazing. I was so glad to be able to watch them while I was in my developing years, because that's when I dedicated most of my free time to baseball. So it was a pleasure just following the Reds during that time. Of course, we all know that they played in Riverfront Stadium during those years. And Riverfront Stadium was like Three Rivers and Veterans Stadium, Cookie Cutter Stadium, a big circle that held the heat well with the AstroTurf and the ball bouncing all over. But it was still fun baseball to me nonetheless. And now they've moved into, since 2003, they've been a Great American Ballpark, which is built specifically for baseball. And it looks pretty cool. I haven't been there yet, but I like the water and the beyond the outfield fences and the open airiness of the ballpark. I'm not sure how you Reds fans feel. If you want to leave a comment and tell me what it's all about, but it looks fun to me. So hopefully fans are enjoying it. And now back to 2021, we're just going to go down the lineups and see what they have to offer. Like I said, there's a lot of potential there, a lot of solid bats, a lot of pure hitters with some pop in there. And Jesse Wingo and Nick Castellanos are going to be the key. Both can hit, professional hitters, especially Castellanos. Castellanos has because he can't play defense at all, so his offense. And then Joey Vaughn, like I said, he'll have the on-base percentage. Does he have the pop in his bat like he wants to? Well, the Reds sure hope so, and you never know. When a guy's that good, he has the potential to come through with a big year. And Eugenio Suarez, a cleanup hitting shortstop. That's pretty good when you got a shortstop that can bat cleanup. So hopefully he can produce. And Mike Moustakas, who is willing to move to second base when needed be. Otherwise, he could be a third base. We'll see what develops there. Nick Senzel, like I said, high hopes for Nick. Hopefully he can produce. Tucker Barnhart is one of the best defensive catchers in the game. He's just a good, solid player, and he flies under the radar. Like I said, Jonathan India, he'll be playing in field, and hopes for him. Not so much that they just need be the player he can be at this point in his career. Is D. Gordon. He's entertaining. He can play. I'm sure he'll get time. Fill one here and there. So we'll see what D presents for this ball club. In the starting rotation, let's hope Sonny Gray healthy. And if he is, him and Louis Castillo pack a good 1-2 punch. It's a shame Trevor Bauer left, because Trevor Bauer, with being the ace with those two behind him, it was still a very, very formidable team this year. As of now, the Reds have a shot 500. I don't have what it takes to beat the Cubs, the Cardinals. We shall see. You never give up. That's why they play the games. And the other interesting note in the starting rotation, number 4 main slot is Michael Lorenzen, and you got to love him. He's another two-way player. He can play outfield and hit the ball with the best of them, and then come in and pitch. And I like the fact that making him start every reliever. It gives him more of a schedule and give him the opportunity to play in the line more often and use his offensive skills to help out the Reds. And if you're a starter, you know when you can play and when you can play the field. So hopefully things work out in that regard for Reds. And in the bullpen, you have Amir Garrett, and he is lights out. He is a good pitcher. I mean, he can do it. And Sean Doolittle, maybe they're trying to catch lightning in a bottle, but he'll probably be the 7th inning man. And hopefully he can remember the winning ways he had with some organizations. And Lucas Sims is probably going to be a setup man. Now, the future's for the Reds. I don't see anything much on the horizon right now, but only time will tell as far as that's concerned. I don't know. It's really, but I just haven't seen anything. If you know of anyone that's hot, drop a note here in the notes column, and we'll take it from there. So that's my review on Reds. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, the beauty of these is every team has a shot. With Tigers or being buried. There is hope. Do I think they'll make the playoffs? No. If you dislike, I always dislike it. And the YouTube cast, please do so. That way you'll be alerted when they're coming, and you'll be able to just fill the time you want. And if you're not a member of the Facebook baseball group, Baseball Way of Life, by means, please do. I'd love to have you. And for tonight, for today, unless we do another couple, you never know. That's why you gotta subscribe. You never know when something up. But again, thank you all for reviewing. You guys are the best. I love you. Have a great day. Play ball. And as always, adios.